guys, it's me Amelia. Welcome back to my channel. I haven't said that in so long because I haven't filmed a video in so long. Today I'm going to be filming my first wrap up since April. I never filmed one for May, June, July, August, and September, but I'm gonna film one for October because I feel like I read a lot of books this month and it would just be a waste if I didn't film a wrap up. And by a lot of books I mean 9. That's a lot for me. So firstly I read Serpent and Dove, which is like this witch versus church thing. It's enemies to lovers. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's like the best book. I feel like it was very average. Book Twitter and BookTube hyped it up so much, so I had really high expectations. I thought it was gonna be good. And like, okay, it was good, but it wasn't like, oh my god, like everyone else was saying. I felt like it was just another young adult fantasy hate to love book. Like, it wasn't that memorable. And then after that I read Reveal Me, which is a novella. This is the cover of Reveal Me, but like the book itself, like this is the cover. But Reveal Me is like the second half, because like the second half was released after the first half. The book Find Me is like both stories in one book. But yeah, so it was Reveal Me, which is the second half, but I this is so complicated. Reveal Me was just a novella in one of the characters' point of view, which is Kenji. I don't know, I feel like Tairi Mafi's Shatter Me series is going downhill. It used to be so good. I used to like anticipate the books coming out, and now I don't even like realize it came out. I found out Reveal Me came out like 2 days after it was out. I'm just not really looking forward to her books anymore. As much as I love the characters, I feel like the first 3 books were like the peak, and now it's just like average. And I hate to say that because this is one of my favorite series. It's not something that's super special for me now. The first 3 books are very special for me, and then the rest, it's just like, it can't live up to it, is what I'm trying to say. I love the ending, but besides that, I feel like it was very average. Okay, next book, and I'm so excited about this. Oh my god, oh my freaking god. I read Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I watched the Twilight movie, and then I watched New Moon on the same day, and then I watched Eclipse, and then I watched Breaking Dawn Part 1, and then I watched Breaking Dawn Part 2. All in one day. I watched the whole Twilight saga in one day, and it made me so obsessed with Twilight. I was like so in my feels. I listened to the Twilight soundtrack every day. Like, I felt like I was living in Forks. I thought I was Bella Swan. I don't know, I felt like I was living in Twilight, so I decided to read the book, because it was like a 2-week period where I was so obsessed with Twilight. It was so weird, and like all I would talk about was Twilight. All I would read was like the Twilight book, and then I just kept rewatching the Twilight movies in October. All of them. I just kept watching them. I was so obsessed with Twilight for some reason, and I still am. I'm planning to make a whole video on Twilight. Oh my god. The soundtrack, so beautiful. Oh my god, I love Twilight. So yeah, I gave Twilight, oh my god, I gave it 3 stars. Okay, I gave the book 3 stars, but I love it. I mean, okay, I love like the movies. The movies are so good. The book was alright, but like, oh my god, I love the world. I love the world. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Next up, I read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I never planned to read Ninth House, but the thing was, like, on book Twitter, it's either people really liked it, like they loved Ninth House, or they didn't like it at all. And like, I really wanted to know where I stood. Like, was I going to not like it at all, or was I gonna really like it? Like, I had to know, and that's the only reason I read Ninth House. I literally wasn't even interested, especially because everyone was talking about how there's no romance in that book. And if you know me, like, I read books for romance, but I had to read it because I wanted to know my thoughts on it. And I ended up giving it 4 stars. So I'm on that side of people who really like it. I love it a lot. The only reason I took off a star was because, so I understand that it's an adult book, so everything is like more complicated for my teenage mind. Well, I'm 19. But I just feel like some things were poorly explained. Like, I didn't really know what was going on. And even by the end, like, I was still like confused. I'm like, wait, what just happened? Like, I didn't really get it, and I don't think it was my fault, because I was looking at reviews and a lot of people felt the same way. Like, they don't know what happened because it was kind of poorly explained. It's like a bunch of info dump, just a bunch of information were dumped on you, and it just gets so confusing because there's so much information being dumped. It's like telling rather than showing. Like, things were just told to you, which made it kind of confusing. But besides like that part, I actually really love Ninth House. I love the whole vibe of it. It was so like dark and like mysterious. It's like a mystery and it's very like thriller. It was just so good, and it's not like Leigh Bardugo's other books, which I liked. And it was really good. It was really, really good. I really liked it, and I actually like can't wait for the next book, even though I gave it 4 stars, but I actually really liked it. Next up, I read the Breyer You series. It's a spin-off of the Off Campus series by Elle Kennedy, and I really liked the first book in Off Campus, so I just read the Breyer You books. So the first one is The Chase by Elle Kennedy, which is a romance between this girl named Summer and this guy named Fizz. And then the second book in that series is called The Risk, which is a romance book between this guy named Jake and this girl named, I don't know. And then the third book is The Play, which is the worst one out of all of them. The Play was actually pretty boring, and it's based on this guy named Hunter and this girl named Demi. The third book is like the worst one, but the first 2 were really good. The first one I gave 4 stars, the second one I gave 5 stars, and the third one I gave 3 stars. And they're all like sports romances. It's like hockey books, and like all the guys are like hockey players. Next up, I read The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, which is like a hate to love sort of romance about this girl who's this, I think it was hockey, I just read a bunch of like sports romance books. She's the assistant to this like really famous hockey player, and then she quits because he treats her really bad, but then like he needs her back for something I won't say, but then stuff happens. I gave The Wall of Winnipeg and Me 5 stars. It was really good, and I really liked it. Yay, wow. The last book that I read is The Pier and the Puppet, which is, I don't even remember, even though I finished it 2 days ago. So this girl, so this girl's mom marries, so this girl is really poor and her mom's really poor, and her mom marries this, so this girl's really poor and her mom's really poor, and then her mom starts dating this really rich guy. So they move in together, and the really rich guy has a son, but I don't remember, but like there's a lot of like hate. I don't remember. Oh my god, what the frick. I just read it 2 days ago. But it's it's hate to love. That's all you have to know. And it's like there's a lot of like bicycle racing. You know, it's one of those books where like you know, like gang stuff. You know, like those new adult gang books. And I actually really liked it. I gave it a 4 stars. I only took off a star because like by the end of the book it was like unresolved. Like so many things were left unresolved, and I'm like, how can you end a book like that? And the next book isn't even on those 2 people. It's on like a different couple. So I'm like, how do you like leave a book between 2 people and it's not even resolved? So that's why I took off a star, but besides that, I actually really liked it. So those were all the 9 books I read in October. I know that I haven't made a wrap up in like 6 months. I do plan on making a video where I wrap up May, June, July, August, and September like really quickly in one video. But I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this wrap up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!